We have two primary goals at Gwinnett Church, and it really related to the design of the building. And it related to our mission, and it related to our vision, and I can explain it. So our mission is to lead people into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ. And so from the very beginning, we had this idea that word growth is very, very important. So long story short, we landed on a tree as part of our mission that would symbolically communicate the mission. It has 8 rings to it. 5 of the rings represent 5 things that grow your faith. The larger rings represent 3 vital relationships. But our concern was if you walked around and said, hey, what's our spiritual growth strategy? Most people would probably not be able to communicate it. So what we wanted to do is to take the tree imagery, and whether it's a tree sculpture, whether it's wood, whether that imagery, or whether our art piece that actually explains all of it, we wanted people to know so that 6 months after we moved into the building, we could do a staff or attendee survey and say, what do you think our mission is? And so we did that to our groups, people that really bought into it and understood it. But we had done a survey, and they weren't as clear about what our spiritual growth strategy was. They understood what the mission was, but if you said, okay, that's great, what's our strategy to accomplish our mission? They weren't as clear. Well, 6 months into the building, when we asked them the question, well, guess what? They were more clear. Now, why is that? I think there's a lot of reasons for that, but one of which is they're in this building every week, and they're taking their friends by, and they're talking about the tree and the tree sculpture. So from a mission standpoint, I wanted to make sure that people knew what our mission was. One of the primary messages we wanted for people to see here through the design is that God's for you and God loves you. And that's one of the primary messages we've received back, is that people feel comfortable. I think the look and design of the building makes people feel like I'm welcome. And part of that's the design of the building, and part of that's our guests and our volunteers that are saying, okay, let's not just have hardware of the building, let's have software of the building, which is you've got to make sure that you're saying you're welcome and be on high alert to treat our guests with the respect that they deserve. So one of the things we wanted to communicate through design and through our staff and volunteers is you're welcome here. And so a phrase that we often say here is, welcome to Gwinnett Church, welcome home. And people have commented to us, this feels like home to me. And the gallery was designed with that in mind. So that's for first-time guests, and it kind of has an Apple-esque look to it. But part of that is we wanted people to feel like they were coming into a fireplace, coming to a home. And for introverts, it's their first time at a church. That's a big step to come into. And so we wanted that room to feel, we wanted it to have a design and a feel that, wow, they thought of me, and they were expecting me to come, and they were ready for me. And so we have a couple of signs that Aaron Harris helped put up together that said every Sunday is someone's first Sunday, and that's true every single Sunday. So one of the primary messages we wanted people to feel is that God is for me. This feels like home, and it's actually my first time here. If you can actually get people to think, this is my first time here and it feels like home, oh my goodness, that's a huge statement that I believe the design of the building has helped us accomplish. One of the things I don't necessarily like to do is raise money. I'm not a natural fundraiser. And at the last church, Buckhead Church I was at, when we built that building, I thought, oh good, I'll never have to raise money ever again. So never say never. So back at Gwinnett Church, raising money all over again. But as we were thinking about trying to communicate mission and visions through the design of the building, we just really believed that we were leaving money, if you will, on the table, or potential on the table, by not incorporating design into the building. What I mean by that is, it's easy to look at a spreadsheet and see hard dollars. It's hard to look at a spreadsheet and see mission and vision not showing up on there. And we just felt like if we're going to build this building, we've got to incorporate and spend the dollars and do it really, really well. Not for excellence sake, although I believe in excellence. What created buy-in for us is to go, we believe in the mission and vision, and if people can't communicate that mission and vision on a regular basis, then we're not going to reach our potential or come anywhere close to our potential. And so it's not just architecture, it's designing mission and vision in. And so when we presented it to our team and the folks that make a lot of the financial decisions, when the design was equated to mission and vision, from our perspective, it was a no-brainer. It was like, oh, you mean if We believe people can communicate mission and vision more regularly and more frequently when they walk around the building, and they're going to be walking around the building either way. But they can communicate mission and vision more frequently, and that will create more vision and more vision carriers and more vision carriers. Done. If you look at thriving organizations, what they're able to do is they're able to transition people from simply consuming the mission and vision to participating in it. And that's what we have to do in the church world. We have to get people from consuming, just coming in and going, to participating in it. And that's why it wasn't an expense. Design wasn't an expense. Design was an investment. And that was one of the ways I positioned it. We are investing in mission and vision. We're not just frivolously spending money on art pieces. It all has an intended reason for why we're doing it. And so from that standpoint, our organizations just felt like, absolutely, we will invest in mission and vision all day long.